Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about how it's okay to have sort of masculine hobbies as a trans person, male to female.
And focusing on male to female because that's
our experience. So I'm Scwelsh Ellie, I've been transitioning for about 3 years.
I'm Skye Valkyrie, I've been transitioning for about 3.5 years.
And I'm Natalie and I've been transitioning for 9 years.
So if you watched our previous video, we sort of briefly touched on this subject. But in this video, I want to touch on it a little bit more and deep dive into it and say how, what's the difference between being... what's the difference between being, trans or being just masculine or feminine? What is the difference between all this? Because I understand how it can be very confusing for a lot of people.
Yeah, and especially growing up, it starts at childhood. I grew up and I had Action Men's force on me, and you were lucky that you had a sister who had Barbies and dolls.
Yeah, so I grew up in somewhat of a, it's not a gender neutral household because we still had the sort of roles there, but my mum didn't mind us playing with Barbies or dolls or anything like that.
Dress up or anything like
that.
that.
So we could sort of explore ourselves, and I was very, very lucky to have that, but I understand not everyone's got that.
Yeah, I didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
I never got to experience anything else other than boy toys, which you can play with whatever toys you want. It's not anything to do with it. I don't know.
I grew up in a very male-dominated household, and a lot of the hobbies, toys and things like that were available to me were boys' toys, basically. So, that's kind of shaped my interests as an adult. I don't think...
Autism.
That and autism, yes. I don't think... Unless you were repressing a lot... on specific things, I think that when you transition you'll probably just keep your hobbies. I've seen a little diagram of it. I can't remember when, I can't remember how, but it's a 3-tiered approach to understanding gender and things like that. And there is your sex assigned at birth, and then there is your gender identity, which is male, female, non-binary, whatever. And then there is on top of that your gender expression, not entirely how you're perceived, but sort of
what you stereotypically enjoy.
Yeah, so say a girl with male hobbies is a tomboy. That would be someone whose gender identity is female and they have more masculine leaning gender expression.
Yeah.
And yes, we all did wonder what the other version of tomboy was.
Yeah, I heard tomboy and I was instantly what's a tom? I'm a bit of a tom girl.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing. But I also grew up being born and raised in Liverpool. I grew up around football and having football is a big sort of interest. Every Scouser has a football team.
I still maintain that they're indoctrined into it.
That is typically a very masculine sport to like. Especially whilst I was growing up, I understand times have changed now.
And especially, I guess it depends on where you are, because I guess it's more appropriate for women to be supporting football in Liverpool. But in Ireland, it's typically only men really follow football. There are women who do, but majority of people I ever met who followed football were men.
I never followed it at all.
Yeah, I never followed it either.
Still don't.
I really don't care about it. She tries to get me to watch the matches, and when the matches are on, I'll ask questions about the rules because the rules interest me, but the match itself I don't really care about.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all grew up in very different areas.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised in Liverpool. You were born and raised in Wales. Yep. You were born and raised in Ireland. So we've got very different perspectives on things.
Yeah, but GAA is way more common to follow in Ireland.
Yeah.
Which is Gaelic football and hurling.
Yeah, when you say very different, I think we grew up within 20 miles of each other, but culturally
they're very
split
different,
in the middle of that.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Britain is you can travel like 50 miles down the road and people can't understand you anymore.
Yeah.
It can be wildly different.
Yeah.
And the Scouse accent's definitely a struggle with that, because people, like, no matter where you go, people are like, I do not understand the bloody word you're saying.
If you travel 2 miles down the road from where I grew up, it's no longer predominantly English speaking. It becomes Welsh speaking just 2 miles away from my house. It's kind of mad.
I enjoy fixing cars and fixing motorbikes, which again would be a typically male-dominated hobby, interest, career field. And it started off because I was a poor student in college, and then I transitioned, and I kind of got to the point where I enjoyed diagnosing problems and solving them, so I just kept going with it, and I still enjoy it. I still do it now. I shock people when I talk about how much I know about cars and bikes.
Yeah. And I actually love that. Like, I remember the first time you had a problem with your wheel.
Oh, the
and
puncture.
She literally had a puncture, and she literally just spun all these wheel nuts off and just took the wheel off, changed it, and we were back on the road within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was bloody brilliant.
I got back in and she was like, that was hot.
It was so hot.
And I knew that bit was coming. I knew at some point it would be Ellie finding that incredibly hot.
Yeah, and like, you know, people are always shocked, but I just enjoy doing it.
So I think the important thing is like gender expression, like how people see you and how, like, what your hobbies are. Your hobbies are entirely different to who you are. There are women who can be who are like better mechanics than most men out there.
And this is something I've actually been told.
Yeah.
As I was at a garage, and again, like, someone was talking about, we got into the conversation of like, oh, what can you do on cars? And I said, this. And it was like, you can do more than me. And then the garage owner was like, do you want a job? And he was like, we have a woman in there and she's better than most of the lads. I got told today that a guy has a few women workers and he's never sacked one, and he sacks tons of men.
Yeah.
I think as trans people, we have... I think it's worth sticking to your hobbies that you had before if you still enjoy them. I think
Absolutely.
Don't worry about it.
There's something to be said for sort of driving that people can do whatever the fuck they want.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer of do whatever you want. And even if you always had a hobby that you never did, I think if you feel like once you transition that it's more acceptable, then do it.
Absolutely.
And if you can do it before you transition, break those norms, break those stereotypes.
Oh yeah, like gender stereotypes are such a problem, especially in the trans community, because people feel like they cannot do this, that, or anything else before they start their transitions.
Yeah.
But there are like so many brilliant male dancers out there. There are so many fantastic female footballers out there.
Yeah.
And there's so many people breaking the norm, so just bloody do it.
The general gist, I think, is just do what you want.
Do what you want.
I think growing up in that male-dominated household and having those sort of stereotypically male hobbies, has kind of stalled my transition a little, because I was like, well, I'm into this, that, and the other, so I can't be a woman. Then I've capped a lot of them, because I realised a lot of the time that, you know, a girl on a motorbike is kind of hot.
Yeah,
like if a girl starts like info dumping about fighter jets to me, I'd be like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. Like I was very big into airsoft before I transitioned. I think subconsciously, having transitioned, I thought maybe, I can't really do that anymore, and now I'm thinking about it again. I love guns. I don't like real guns, but
you just like shooting people.
I just like shooting. No.
She just likes causing mayhem.
I like airsoft guns. I like replica guns. I watch TV shows. I go, I know what that gun is. I know what that gun is.
Oh, you're so autistic with that.
Yeah.
Such a nerd.
But again, and I think I'll probably get back into it at some point, because I shouldn't have stopped. We've talked about our hobbies, but like, what about your hobbies? We talked about your football. What other?
Yeah, so like my main hobbies are obviously I love football, I love beer, I love women. like all these very masculine things out there.
But on the other side of it, when you were young, you were doing gymnastics.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, I did dance, I did gymnastics.
Still really flexible.
Very flexible.
But I was a very, very flexible kid. Like, I got offered a ballet program when I was a kid.
Scholarship to it or something, wasn't it?
Something to do with that, yeah. And she really wanted me on there because I was so flexible and like I had such good potential. And due to gender stereotypes, I was like, no, because I will get bullied for this. If I get put on this program, I'll get so bullied.
Yeah, by your siblings.
By my siblings, yeah. Like, siblings rip each other. It's so typical.
Yeah, it's kind of normal, but it does come down to gender stereotypes.
Yeah, it does. And it also just comes down to, like, I am scared about being bullied about this, that, or anything else.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I'm sure you've had it as well with
Which one say?
dance
Do I
and
look
stuff.
bullying? Yeah. So, yeah, I did dance in school. I, like, anything slightly feminine was instantly picked up on by bullies, and I already had a very punchable face in school, so I just seemed, it's one of those things you don't realise until you're older, and it's like, oh, you're autistic, and as a kid it's just everyone's bullying me and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And yeah, high school was horrible, so I just, like, anything I changed the way I walked, I changed like the way I spoke and everything to be as masculine as possible to fit in, because that kid's gay, and it's like, kind of, yeah, but
not the
in
way
a different
you're
way. Yeah,
like I really
common,
struggled
though.
with this because I was like, I feel like I'm gay, but I don't like men. And it was so funny because like it was also super confusing because I loved women growing up, although I felt like a woman. I was like, I love women and I love everything about femininity.
That in itself is a stereotype though, because people think because you're trans, oh, you must like men.
Exactly. Like, once I came out, I had like people dropping in my inbox and stuff, and it was men like, oh yeah, you must like men now then. And I'm like, no, you absolutely got that wrong.
Yeah, I think that's a very old way of thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, I like women, and it's kind of friggin' obvious. My partner's right here, but I couldn't imagine dating a man.
No, I can imagine doing other things with men, but not dating.
Yeah. I think we're all pansexual, aren't we? So like we can be attracted to people regardless of their gender, regardless of how they identify. And I kind of love that. I feel like it's the best sort of ground to be at.
Is that what pansexual is?
Pansexual, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been telling everyone I'm pansexual, but I'm just really, really into like kitchen stuff.
I knew that's where that was going. For people who don't know, pansexual is you don't really care about the gender, it's the person.
Yeah, it's more who's inside. Like,
yeah.
It's nothing to do with anything else.
No, but we
Unless they're ugly.
No, Sophie, nobody's truly ugly.
Donald Trump.
Okay,
let's not go there.
Outside, inside.
Yeah.
That whole thing of you said about, you know, becoming hyper masculine, like that's a very damaging thing a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You yourself did it.
I very much did it, yeah. Like I tried to grow up my beard, I tried to like just appear more masculine.
Oh,
you know,
the denial beards.
Oh,
yeah.
So the worst thing is I grew my hair to just over shoulder length, like pre-transition, and I was like, oh yeah, I just like it. I just like it longer. Like I was just trying to hide things, but in reality, I knew I was trans. I knew it was coming, and then I was like, no, I'm burying it again, and
Cut it all off.
I cut it all off. I got like a fucking short back and sides, and I ended up donating my hair to Princess Trust.
Well, that was good, at least.
Like, that was one positive that came from it. But at the same time, like, if I hadn't cut my hair, it would be down here by now.
Yeah, but what's crazy is
Like,
I didn't have that, like, denial thing. I
was very much
I had
denial.
insane levels
That's
of denial.
crazy.
The
I think
beard,
I was-
like, the walking like this.
Like, I was growing my hair out from about 16, and it had gotten to probably about that long, and I really liked it. And then my dad was like, "Oh, you know, it's getting to the point where you should probably cut it," and I was like, "No." And I think I was like, okay, I need to come out soon because I'm not cutting my hair.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what triggered my coming out. But I never had that masculine thing. Actually, weirdly enough, I started embracing femininity a bit more. I started styled my hair a bit more feminine. I was like wearing nail polish a bit more, and I just embraced that side. And I never really got that. I got laser hair removal before I publicly transitioned.
Yeah, like my first stages was, I'm a big fan of Youngblood, and I remember going to a young I remember going to a Youngblood concert like pre-transition, and I picked my outfit out. I think I was wearing like a skirt similar to this, just like a black sort of skirt, and I wore fishnets with it, and I can't remember what top.
I think it was just a t-shirt.
I think it was just some sort of t-shirt.
Probably a Youngblood t-shirt and your pink socks, of course.
And the pink socks, obviously the staple.
But this was pre-transition.
Yes.
I feel I did a very similar thing to see Tesseract. Just like, it was like 2 months before it came out, and I was just full fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was beautiful because it was the first time I was like public wearing like feminine clothing and stuff, and I felt so bloody affirmed by that community. It was so beautiful.
I will say this, like I really like Youngblood as well, and we went to the first Bloodfest.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see like everybody just wearing what they wanted to wear.
Yeah, literally
guys,
everyone
girls,
of any
NBs,
like
they were just there were some beautiful guys there wearing beautiful skirts.
Oh yeah.
And it's just amazing that they have that comfort. They're comfortable, and the community is that accepting.
It is, and it is genuinely the best sort of music community I've seen built, and that's one thing you've got to take your hat off for Youngblood too. Is like he's built such a wonderful community, and he has built like somewhere that everyone can feel comfortable truly being themselves, and that is bloody amazing, and I love him for that.
Has anybody got any hobbies they started after transition?
I suppose I've picked up baking. I started making sourdough bread.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is very good.
I want to start dance at some point. I want to go to a dance class. I've obviously done more sexy dancing.
Yeah, well, you did promo work and go-go dancing and stuff.
Yeah, so I did like a little bit of promo work, very early transition, and
looked amazing.
That was so scary for me. But I will get the girl on who got me into all the promo work, Rhiannon. She's bloody brilliant.
She's amazing.
But I will get her on for another podcast, so make sure to subscribe. She runs a strip club. She's got like a show on the BBC and everything. Like she is like such a full package of a person who can fit in anywhere. She also runs an LGBT strip club, but we will talk about that in a future video. But thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, and I'll make sure to leave Charlotte's channel in the description, and also Sophie's channel in the description. So make sure to go over to their channels as well and give them some love.
And also leave us a comment about your own hobbies, and if you have any hobbies that you wanted to do and didn't, or any that you went, screw it, let's do them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to hear them. So
yeah.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.